Week 3 was full of surprises, but week 4 is about to blow your mind. We've got the picks for you to have you on the edge of your seat. We got Rowan in the house, ladies and gentlemen, and it is week 4. How are you doing, Rowan?
Doing well. Excited to get to it.
Let's do it, my friend. So right off the bat, recap of last week. How'd you do?
I did not do great. Hold on, let me pull that up. I only got like 4 or 5 points last week.
I'll show that for the group here.
Yeah, I'm currently 4th. Benjamin Rowe
is tied.
He's been climbing the rankings. He's red hot right now.
He is. He is tied with me. So
yeah.
Me and him are tied. Dak and you are tied. Pigskin is in 5th. B Bonham is 6th. Quake Daddy 7th. And Kane Bailey is 8th. That is the order currently. So, all righty. All right. It was a tough week. So, week 4 is upon us. Some interesting matchups. Let's see what we got here. Make sure we get this so you guys can see it. Like we went over before, the favorites are on the left and the underdogs are on the right. So if you have a straight favorite down the left-hand side, you tend to favor pretty good. But last 2 weeks in the NFL, hey, it's anybody's game. So Rowan, Thursday night, New York Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys, who have lost the last 2 games at home. This is in MetLife Stadium. Who you got?
I got the Dallas Cowboys in a romp. I think Dak Prescott's just going to tear New York alive. He finally came alive at the end of that Baltimore game. I don't want to hear nothing about prevent defense either. I looked into it. They didn't run a single snap of prevent defense in that entire game. Baltimore didn't. Dak Prescott ate them alive in that fourth quarter, and I think he's going to carry that momentum into New York on Thursday.
Awesome. I agree. The Cowboys have their back up against the wall. I feel like they have the better team going into this game. On my channel, on the comments section or the community, we have the poll going. And the last I checked, a lot of people were picking the Giants to beat the Cowboys. But I think the better team is Dallas, even going into MetLife. I think Dallas will take it to the Giants. So both of us are Cowboys. Next up, this is a tough one. This has my most votes on my community tab at the moment. New Orleans Saints travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons, who've had 2 close games. Close games there. So who you got?
The New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans
Saints.
Bounce
back from a game they should not have lost to Philadelphia. Very disappointed in them. Man, so many mistakes, so many times, like when they ran it with Alvin Kamara instead of just taking the points. Oh, my goodness. But,
the Eagles had some mistakes on that one, too, I thought. They should have kicked an extra point right there at halftime instead of trying to go for it.
Yep.
So, it's a toss-up. This is a tough one for me. I did like the Saints. I feel like Philadelphia is a great team, too. Man, this is a 50-50. This is one of the closer games. It's almost like Green Bay and Minnesota. So this is a tough one. You're going to be a Saints. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to stay on the favorites. I'm going to stick with Atlanta. They are playing at home. We'll give the Falcons the edge being at home.
It's interesting that they're on the left because if you look, the pick distribution is favoring New Orleans.
It is. But it's based off the spread.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not the pick distribution, yes. So the guys that are looking at it on the screen, I'm cropping a lot of it out. So this is let me pull it up. I had it up here a second ago. I didn't mean to click on that one. Yeah, so I think it's purely based off the spread of the game. Yahoo usually has it up correctly. Yes, Atlanta's 2.5 points favorites. So it's based off the point spread. That's what the favorite is. Yeah. So Dallas is actually favored by 6 points, and the Rams are the underdog. Chicago is actually a 3-point favorite over the Rams. So there you go. All right. Any other questions on that?
I think we're good to go.
Good to go. Let's go. The Rams travel to Chicago and take on the Bears.
I'm going with the Rams. Just think they're a better team. I think Chicago. I'm sorry, I got a message about a car.
Good.
The Rams are just it wasn't my car, but the Rams are just a better team. Kyron Williams looks phenomenal. Matthew Stafford, no weapons, no problems. He just goes back to how he did in Detroit after Megatron retired, and they're going to beat Chicago, a team with Caleb Williams struggling mightily right now.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Caleb Williams hype yet. I think Chicago is a struggling team. It goes back. The whole Bryce Young situation. Would you have exposed him to that? I think they've been better off benching him the first year, just my opinion. But I do think the Rams are the better pick here. I agree with you. All righty. This is a tough one for me. I've actually really thought about this one all day. The Minnesota Vikings travel to Green Bay. Man.
Give me the Packers.
Give you the Packers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like I've picked on the Packers enough this season, so I'm going to take Green Bay. They burned me once, but you're not going to burn me twice. So Minnesota's a good team. They may get a loss here.
They're a very good team.
They're both good teams. I think this would be a good game. That would be a good game to watch. For sure.
Malik Willis has been very good, don't get me wrong, which is funny because I was ragging on him a few weeks ago. But I pray that Jordan Love plays in this game because it could be a fun one if he does.
He's practiced all week, so just saying.
Yeah, I think he will.
I think at this point, I would think so too, this far along. So we shall see. But hey, anything can happen. It's game time decision. So, all righty. The Colts take on the mighty, and let me say mighty Pittsburgh Steelers. Who you got here?
Oh, Pittsburgh all the way.
Pittsburgh.
Colts cannot stop the run at all. I think they were decently successful against Chicago, but Chicago has a running back problem. DeAndre Swift has been terrible. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're all built around that. They have a tough, grinding-out culture. Anthony Richardson, I think, could make a ton of mistakes against this Steeler defense. And I think the Pittsburgh might win in like a low-scoring blowout. Like they might win like 20-7. They'll win by multiple scores. The total score will be under 30.
Well, the over-under is actually 40 points on this game. So over-under is 40 points. It's a lower over-under for the week. So, yeah, they're predicting to be a low-scoring game. So I feel like, Pittsburgh will take on the Colts and beat them in the Lucas Oil Palace, I believe is the name of it, last I remember. Unless they change the name of it without me knowing, which tends to happen. All righty. Man, boy, oh boy. The Denver Broncos travel to New York to take on the Jets.
I don't know if I've nagged on Bo Nix at all. I want to clarify something. I am a believer. I have loved the idea of him in Sean Payton's offense since they drafted him. And it was very nice to get vindicated by that on Sunday. Man, are they really playing 2 games in 3 days in MetLife? That is going to end in disaster for somebody's Achilles. But
yeah, they really are.
Worst stadium in the league by far. Maybe not field at least. Oh my goodness. But so many non-contact injuries.
Yeah, it has been voted that it is the. I mean, on several different polls I've seen, it is the worst by players
Yeah.
and fans.
I did some research for a paper on artificial turf, and MetLife is just horrible. Just you'd never want to be in there. But
Yeah.
in terms of this game,
What
go ahead.
you did a paper on it? Because I remember reading an article, and them specifically, that was one of the things the players talked about was the turf is like one of the
Yeah.
worst.
Well, I mean, turf in general is actually pretty not a great playing surface, especially when compared to a high quality grass field.
I think, it's the design of it, principle of it, multi-use. You can keep it year-round, cost expensive. It is cheaper than natural grass, ironically, when you take out all the maintenance. Yeah. And I understand what they're getting at, but I think what you don't really consider is the human body was designed to run on dirt, right?
Yep.
So I feel like this, because those of you guys that never played on it, it's like it's almost like a sponge. So when you're running on it, the ground's moving on you, and when you run on regular grass or dirt, it's solid. You don't get that, and you think it would be better for you, but there's a lot of athletes. I mean, there's a give and take. I'm not a believer on that it's really bad for you or any of that. I haven't seen all the evidence. I've just heard stories of both sides. So it's one of those things. So we shall see.
Yep.
All righty. All right. So are you a Jets believer in this one? Or are you a Denver Broncos?
I think this one could be a Denver win, but with the way Aaron Rodgers played against the Patriots, as we saw live together,
yeah,
I'm going with the Jets. If he's playing like that, they may be a real threat.
I think so. I think he's getting comfortable each week. I agree. I'm a Jets believer right now with Aaron Rodgers. So, man,
he looked like the bad man.
He did. He come out there. He had his cape on. He's like, "All right, I'm here to take you guys to the house, to the touchdown. Follow me. Take my lead. Here we go." I guess you could put it that way. So, he's his poise. He's not a Brady quarterback. You can't compare him to Brady, but he's his own creature of habit. He's got the longevity, the history. He knows the game, and he can read defenses, and that's key for a quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the mighty high Philadelphia Eagles after that win.
I'm going Tampa Bay.
Oh, you're going Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm going Tampa Bay. Philadelphia, I know, I mean, I am a hater, so that's part of it. But Philadelphia's just not looked good in any single one of their games. Not even their wins have been like, you really shouldn't have even won that one. You got so lucky.
Yeah.
And Tampa Bay is going to be fuming after a really bad loss to the Denver Broncos. And they've got lots of offensive receiving weapons. You got,
Evans
Chris Godwin. You got Evans. You got Bucky Irving now emerging out of the backfield.
Yeah.
You still got Rashard White.
And
I
you
think
got so many threats. You do have a lot of threats on Tampa Bay. I agree. And they're playing at home, too, so they will have home field advantage. This one's interesting. Part of me, Philadelphia's defense, man. I don't know. I just feel like something with their defense. They just hit the right moment here, and they can come and go. So we shall see. Last season, they folded going into playoffs. I think this part in the season, I think as long as everybody stays healthy, I think Philadelphia can beat Tampa Bay, even going into Tampa Bay. That's just my feeling, but I may be wrong. So you're going to go Tampa yes, 2, sir. And I'm going to take the Eagles. Fly high Eagles. And that's for you, Charles. I've got your Eagles this week, so don't be too mean to me the rest of the week. All right.
You got an Eagles fan, a resident Eagles fan?
We have an Eagles fan. He's probably going to watch this video. So, Charles, that's for you, my friend. All righty. Carolina Panthers. Goodness gracious. The Dalton difference takes on the Burrows Bengals, who are 0-3. My goodness. Rowan, this is one of those games where I'm like, okay, if you're going to put all your eggs in one basket, this is a do or die game for Burrows. I mean, you go 0-4, you're done for the season. There's not really coming back. And Carolina, they don't have anything to lose now. You know, they've started off rough, but Andy Dalton came in there and blew us out of the water last week. Was the first quarterback to throw for over 300 yards or 3 touchdowns this season. Had a phenomenal week. I don't think he can carry it on this week. I think Cincinnati, even though they're flubbed the other night against the Commanders out of all, with the Commanders, that's not the same Commanders team we saw last year either. So this is a tough one.
Yeah,
I know you're a Burrows fan, so who would you go with?
Yeah, Joe Burrow. Watched him at LSU when I was an LSU fan, but I mean, I was very close to picking Carolina in this game just because it would, you know, the NFL is not scripted, but it sure does feel like it sometimes. And it would be pretty interesting to see Andy Dalton basically put the nail in the coffin of Cincinnati's season.
Oh, I know, right? He has some vendetta with them.
I'm not sure if he has vendetta, more of just like a fun revenge game.
I mean, you could say that, but yeah.
I am going with Cincinnati. I just think, man, I think there's no way that they go 0-4 against Carolina.
But they're such a good team, though. They're such a good team.
I don't know. It feels like a team that had a bad season last year and let some key talent go and thought, oh, Joe Burrow will just fix it all. And Joe Burrow is coming off several major injuries. So I'm not even sure I'd call them a team right now.
Yeah. You know, there was a stat on the Cincinnati and Washington game that I read the other day that blew my mind. I watched most of that game and actually fell asleep on it, believe it or not, right there at the end. I've been going a lot lately. You know, I stay up on making some of these videos until 1, 2, 3, 2 o'clock in the morning, guys. So I put a lot of time into this and graphics and stuff and not just videos. But did you know there was not one punt or one turnover that entire game, and the last time that happened was in 1940?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I read that stat and I was like, wow, I would have never guessed that. So it's pretty unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Think about it.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, yeah.
My dad wasn't alive back then. I mean, so.
That's pre-Super Bowl. That's the pre-Super Bowl.
Pre-Super Bowl. That's pre-World War II, guys. I mean, this is technically before the NFL was fully in existence. It was the American Football League at that time.
Did you say 1954?
1940.
Oh, it was 1940?
Yes, that's what it showed in the article. It was 1940.
Oh, man. I thought you said 54.
No, 40. So, yeah, it was pre-World War II. Wild. So, Cincinnati for you, Cincinnati for me as well. I feel like Carolina's going to show some life in them, but I think Cincinnati, their back's up against the wall. They got to win. This is a do or die, or their season's in the tank for sure. All righty. This is a tough one for Jacksonville too. Trevor Lawrence takes on the Houston Texans, who are trying to bounce back after their loss against Minnesota.
Yeah. And I don't think they do.
You don't?
I thought you were talking about Jacksonville. I'm sorry, I got confused there. No, I think the Texans do bounce back against Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is having a disaster season. I don't think they're very well coached. Trevor Lawrence has not lived up to the hype, and I don't even know what's going on. It's strange to see this team that felt like, oh, this team is young. This team is basically playing on house money in 2022 when they won that playoff game where they came back from down from 27-0.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, 2 years later, it feels like, is the core even there? So
that's true. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, his stats, I don't want to pull them up now, but I pulled them up earlier in the day, and it showed he's degraded. His stats are not what they normally were. He's not performing. He got that big contract, and it's like he's going down. And you don't want to see a player do that, which that's another debate, big contracts and how players perform after them. So, all righty. I think the Texans take on Jacksonville and send them to 4-0. 0-4, not 4-0, 0-4. Sorry. Oh, man. Here we go again. Guys, I told you in the start of this video, and if you have not already, if you're still here with us on this video, thank you so much. Drop those likes on the video, guys. Please drop those likes. Watch this video to the end and subscribe. If we've earned your attention this long, drop a subscription on here as well. All right. Washington and Arizona. I feel like this could be a close game. Arizona has some sparks. So who you got here?
Arizona.
Man, I feel like Washington, the way they went into Cincinnati, man, I think they're going to take it to the Cardinals. I really do. So I'm going to go with Washington. I'm going to go on the underdog side. All righty. The New England Patriots travel to the 49ers, Levi Stadium.
San Francisco needs to bounce back, and I think they get it here.
I agree with you, my friend. I agree. 49ers got to win, and I think they will take it at home. The Cleveland Browns traveled to Vegas and take on the Raiders.
Going with Vegas here. I just got a feeling I just like the Raiders in this matchup.
I do too. I think the Raiders are the better team. Deshaun Watson, he's another quarterback that, I don't know, he just doesn't, his performance has went down since the last several years. He has his moments, but I don't think he's the same as he was. I'm not sure if he's lost a step or what, but I think the Raiders, Gardner Minshew takes them. All right, how do you want to announce this one? I'm gonna let you announce this one. These next two matchups.
Kansas City Chiefs take on the Los Angeles Chargers, the Clippers of the NFL. And I am going with the Clippers of the NFL, the Los Angeles Chargers, to pull off an upset against Kansas.
Wow.
So, if Justin Herbert does not play, I will have a massive amount of egg on my face.
I do not think he's going to play. That's just my feeling. He's had that foot. He had plantar fasciitis or whatever surgery or whatever they did, and he was limping pretty good the other day. So if he plays, he's a trooper. But I got to stick with my Chiefs, man. My Mahomes all the way. My auto. All righty, State Farm is in the building. So, I mean, Harbaugh, he's a great coach, but I think it'll be a competitive game. All the Chiefs games of this season have been competitive. They haven't been runaways like you could think. So, Buffalo, the Bills Mafia, go down the road to the Baltimore Ravens. And I think Buffalo takes Baltimore out at home. That's my pick. I'm going to throw it out there now.
I think Baltimore takes them.
You think Baltimore takes them?
Yeah, I think Baltimore continues to rattle off a few wins here. I think Buffalo these teams are going to lose eventually. I think Buffalo takes their first loss of the season against an excellent opponent in Baltimore.
You did see the right side, though, right? Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. All right. 54% say Buffalo. 46% say Baltimore. So there's a lot of people picking Buffalo, believe it or not. So, but the odds are, last I checked, it was Baltimore by 3. I think it was 3 points. Last I checked. So Baltimore, Vegas odds, Baltimore, Yahoo Pick'ems League, Buffalo. But so Buffalo is the underdog. I think they win. Rowan's got the Ravens. Next up, man, the Dolphins. This is going to be a sad affair here. The Dolphins take on the Titans. And this is going to be a rough game. It really is.
I think Tennessee squeezes it out just because I know Will Levis is not good right now, but he's probably better than Skylar Thompson, who may not even play.
I feel like Miami, they had all the hope going into the season to do good, and Tua had that crazy injury, and I hope the best for him. So I just don't know. I just feel like the air's deflated out of them after that happened. Maybe I'm wrong. So we shall see. I'm going to go against them. I'm going to stick with Tennessee. I feel like that is a safer pick. Even though 61% say the Dolphins will win.
That's just going off the name.
Yeah, that's true. There's probably quite a few Miami fans. Miami's been around longer than the Titans.
True. Well, they used to be the Oilers, but I don't think any. Well, I doubt many Oilers fans followed them to Tennessee.
No, I have some family that was Oilers fans, and trust me, they turned it off. They're like, no more.
Yeah.
Yep. So Seattle Seahawks take on the Detroit Lions in Detroit.
This is another upset for me. I'm going with Seattle. These teams have met over the last couple of years. I believe Seattle won both matchups. I'm going to check that.
With Seattle.
But yes, I mean, it's been an exciting matchup each time they've met in the last few years, and I just think Seattle takes it.
Maybe so. All right. So you're going to go with Seattle.
Each of the last 2 years that they have played, and hold on, I can't pull it up because it's being annoying, but I believe Seattle has won both.
All right. That's interesting. I'm going to stick with the Lions. I feel like the Lions are a solid team. They've had some ups and downs this season already, so I feel like they're the safer pick. So I picked 3 on the right and all the rest down the left. So you can see my picks here, ladies and gentlemen. So you get the edge on me. So, all righty, Rowan, any closing statements before we go?
Not really. I mean, it's just, I've been saying go Cowboys, but it feels weird to say that now.
Right.
Go Dak Prescott, I guess.
Let's go Dak.
Only guy who showed up on Sunday.
Only one. Right on, right on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to drop those likes on the stream, comment on the video. Let us know your thoughts on these picks. Are we complete morons on it, or hey, we're just having fun with it? But let us know your picks. I'd love to hear from you. And like I said, this Pick'em League, it's in the description. Feel free to join it. It's never too late, guys. Let's have some fun with it. And be sure to reach out and tell somebody you love them. And we'll catch you guys later.